I'm sure everybody assumed that I was going to be happy with Marileona coming back. I've stated before, she's probably my favorite female. I mean, like, the only character right now I can think of for female characters in Black Clover that are on a potential pathway right now to being a contender. It's like Vonica, because I like, you know, I like evil, crazy chicks in series, you know, but Noelle's on that pathway, I think, in a much larger scale, because I trust what we've seen with Tabata's writing, and I already like a lot what he's done with her so far, and I like Noelle. But at the moment, I've probably got to give to Marileona just because I love her design, I love her character, and her just high energy, badass displays. So at the end of the last chapter, out of nowhere, obviously, I was really hyped and excited that Marileona came back into play. And I did mention in Josuke's latest stream, so if you haven't checked it out, go check out Josuke's, you know, Quan's channel, J Clouds, RTL FaZe, Broku. Go check out all the guys, Sammy's, all those Black Clover guys. I usually do more Black Clover content than me too, so definitely if you're more of a Black Clover guy, go check them out, especially Josuke's streams. But I almost lost my train of thought, almost. But when it came down to this chapter, like, the only thing that I think could have kept me from just like giving it a 10 was like if we got more spells from Marileona. Just because, like, the one thing about Marileona that bothers the hell out of me is it's like what we have with Jack, where we just have so few spells. And even the spells we have more of them are just kind of like their original spell slightly better. Like, Marileona has Calidus Brachium. It's like she has Calidus Brachium Barrage, but all it really is she's just doing Calidus Brachium a lot. And then her Purgatory is something different because it's more of just like an all-out. It's like this kind of mini supernova-ish idea of an attack. It's just a big AoE explosion. So I guess I can't really compare it. But Calidus Brachium and Calidus Brachium Barrage, you know what I mean? Like, I want to see more spells from her. So any chapter in the future where we get more spells from her, or I guess, like I said, Jack for that matter, I'm going to be hyped for it. No, luckily Yami's tied up, so we're not going to get a bunch of Yami spells. He's already got so many. But that is the one thing I want to say towards Marileona the next chapter, because I don't think we're going to get focused on her fight. It would be really weird to focus on the fight now. Like, I feel like the next couple, like 2 or so chapters primarily are going to be 2 or 3 next chapters is my guess. Primarily is it's going to be kind of setting up fights, and it's going to be kind of characters getting out, getting things all kind of like built up for the first bigger battles of this arc. Because I think we're just in the start. Like, I think that once we get kind of more, like I said, settled in to see some of the fights, it's going to be like, okay, we're going to get through these ones, and then by the end of those, we're going to set up the next stage. It's kind of like the Elf Resurrection arc, but like I'm guessing to a way more lesser degree, because I think this is still like in the earlier stages of the grand scheme of the Spade War. Because I think the equivalent to the Elf Resurrection arc for the Spade is not going to be for way later, like when we have other kingdoms come in, like when Gotcha shows up and like the Spirit Guardians, and then like the members of the Diamond Kingdom show up with you know, with Mars and stuff, and then the Heart Queen shows up, maybe reinforcing some of the Clover. But for these next for this next part, like when it comes to Marileona and the demon, one thing I'll throw in, I want it to be stated this demon is way weaker than the Lick demon, because I feel like it has to. There's no way it can be as powerful. But I think it logically would make sense if it's not as powerful, because one, it'd be really weird if like another person, Lick's Tear, just became a demon, but at the same time it'd be like, it wouldn't make sense for Marileona to hit him, but it'd be cool, or to do like the level of damage that like Lumiere was doing. But whereas I think it would be cooler to have like a weaker one, is it just be like, oh well, maybe there's a couple more out there, or how did they do this? Like, it would make, because that's, I think, a bigger question mark right now with this Devils. Like, where does it stack up compared to Lick's? Because it does have potential story damaging stuff if it is on tier, which like, or unless like Marileona didn't even damage it, just kind of like pushed it slightly. The next chapter has a lot of potential damage, but also a lot of potential really good world building, and kind of just like ease, like setting up ease for some of the people that are worried about like the idea of it kind of stacking anywhere close to the Lick demon. But I want that statement, and then just a new spell for Marileona. Just a named and sing the spell. I don't need the full fight. I'm perfectly fine with waiting to see Marileona's fight against this monster. But outside of that, like, Dark Disciples of value. That is one of the things that I've noted so many times. I've mentioned it so much, and I know it might get a little tiresome, the fact I noted a lot. It's not like I have a couple of crazy theories when it comes to series, kind of like they're in that realm of like they sound really out there, but they're possible. Black Clover, my idea is my big crazy theory is Rades at some point finding where all of the Wizard Kings are buried and like making a bunch of OP zombies, or something equivalent. Maybe finding some form of like crazy crypt where powerful people of the past are buried. You know what I mean? Primarily the easiest one to be Wizard King Crypt because he's member of the Clover Kingdom, sort of. Either way, something like that. When it comes to the Dark Disciples, though, like I've been saying, because I think they need to have some members worth acknowledgement. I don't want them to be garbage. Like the way that I kind of see it, it'd be like if you took the Arrancar arc or the Soul Society, or not Soul Society, you took like Hueco Mundo. Like imagine Bleach, but it was just like, or like that whole era, but imagine like the fight against the Arrancar, but it's just like the Fraction, and then like the, what was it, the Primera Espada, like the ones that used to be Espada, like those guys, where it's like, hey, they're kind of strong, but like anybody worth a damn is gonna one-shot them, and it's kind of like only main cast members, as they're still kind of getting like getting steps up in strength and getting further little boosts in progression. That's essentially how the Dark Disciples are now. Whereas like I want there to be Dark Disciples that it takes a captain like pretty much not like Yami tier where they're like an up captain, but like a captain even Nozel, where it'd be like, oh wow, that guy actually managed to get me to like push myself. Like I don't need them to be all out, but I don't want them to be, oh yeah, one chapter they lose to kind of like vice captain level people and they're forgettable. Like even if there's only like 5 or 6 members of the Dark Disciples who are like kind of like between vice captain and captain level, kind of like where they're just like where they could kind of push, like imagine in like an actual 1v1 instead of just like the second he kind of busts out his good stuff he kills Goderoy's kind of thing. That's just kind of where I'm thinking about, like the idea of would still win. It'd still be somebody he could defeat, but it's not somebody that he would defeat as easy, you know what I mean? Or it would be like a couple chapters, kind of like what the more of like what when we had like the followers of Seraph, was it Seraphine, like the elves, not like licked and like the upper members, but like not even that, actually, kind of like Elf Luck. I think Elf Luck is the best era because it was like Asta at the time like was able to do stuff with him, like he was able to contend with him, but he was like Elf Luck was too fast. I can't remember, like Lufalu, I can't remember exactly his name, but then you had characters like Vanessa and Magda who were to a degree able to keep up with him and were able to fight him sort of, but like not able to fight him full out. But like them characters at that level through teamwork could beat him, whereas like obviously they like characters at their level now, you take Magna, Vanessa, and Nasa and put them against Dante, they lose easy. But if you put them against the Dark Disciple member we have now, they run through them. It's like it's nothing. I'm hoping for something in between of them, kind of that same level of threat where it's like, yeah, we beat this guy. We're not so beaten up that we can't take a breather and then go fight the next bad guy, but like that guy actually gave us some trouble, sort of thing. That's what I'm hoping for, because I also want there to be a couple Dark Disciples like I like, because so far they're pretty lame. None of their designs have really been memorable, and then their magics have all been pretty meh. I think the coolest one, like even close to me liking, was the sniper guy, just because I thought his magic and the way he used like his devil power, so it's cool. I like that he had these eyeball kind of like little drones, and then he would use his devil power to enhance it and then shoot magic bullets out like little snipers. Because it's not like he was powerful, his magic wasn't too powerful, but it was just hard to fight because it's got such range and such accuracy. I thought that was cool. I like that guy, which is a shame because I don't remember his name, but his design was super lame. But I liked his magic. Like, give him a cool design. Goderoy's actually had a somewhat cool design. I liked his mohawk. I liked how his magic, he had these big badass jacked arms. that made the vest look cooler. But anyway, I've been rambling on a little bit because like I do really want the Dark Disciples to get a couple good people. I'm hoping one of them, like one good member of the Dark Disciples, to be introduced in the next couple chapters before like we settle in before these fights that are obviously going to be just placed up for the opening part of them invading and rushing the Spade Kingdom. But like other than that, like maybe actually seeing that the Diamond guy, the guy that went with Morris, because there's not a lot of stuff right now that I think is like is easily kind of predictable, and just the idea, because we're definitely still going to be in setup. Like characters are still rushing around, characters are still running out all over the place. A lot of the villains haven't moved out. Like we've only just gotten to the point where action is beginning. It's a little, like I said, it's a little difficult at this point, but I'll end on that. I think my Dark Disciple bit, and then talking about like what I want personally out of where the chapter left off, that is the one thing for sure I want to happen based off events last chapter. I want just one new spell for Marilyn, even if it's literally like she does like maybe does like a arm, like extends her arms and then does kind of like some arm sweep that makes like maybe a fire lion claw, and then you just see like her like do like a fire slash and then burn like a big area on this devil or something. Who knows? Either way, though, comment below, thumbs up the video, but friend, like button, subscribe button, and check out my other videos. But other than that, I appreciate everyone's already subscribed, and thank you all for listening. Bye.